Hey there guys, I'm TheRoyalGorilla and welcome to my top 5 most anticipated games of E3 2015. Gorilla Pop Charts are based purely on opinion. These lists are ordered according to TheRoyalGorilla's opinion, so make them conflict with your opinion, but that does not mean that either opinion is incorrect. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, as your opinion also matters, and we like to hear what our subscribers have to say. But please remember, these are all opinion, and if your opinion conflicts with TheRoyalGorilla's opinion, then that's life. As you just heard, the list will be entirely based on my personal opinion. So if you don't see a game you're excited about on this list, be sure to drop me a comment below and let me know what you're most excited about. So now that's out of the way, let's get to the list. At number 5 is a game that is the sequel to one of my favourite games of 2012, Dishonored 2. Now when Dishonored was released in 2012, it was a brand new IP, so a lot of people didn't really know what to expect. And what they got out of it was a really in-depth game that allowed you to play in any way you wanted, with consequences in the game world that really changed the world. Now my biggest problem with the original Dishonored was there was this massive world that was created with all this really interesting lore, and we just didn't really get to explore enough of it, which is why I'm really excited for a Dishonored 2. Just the idea of getting to delve into more of this world, uncovering new storylines, new characters, and entirely new settings seems really interesting to me. And if the story is half as good as the first game, it will definitely be one of the best games of whatever year it's released. So there we go, number 5 on my list, Dishonored 2. At number 4 we have a controversial title, Star Wars Battlefront. Now I know that a little while ago I released a video about Star Wars Battlefront and pretty much slated it a little bit. If you want to see that video, click on the screen now. But hear me out, I just want to talk about this game for a little bit because since it is on this list, I'm pretty sure you can tell I'm still pretty excited about it. Now I am worried that this game is going to let everyone down, but unlike most of the internet, I am willing to actually wait until the game is released, until we see more of it before making my final opinion. Which is why I'm excited to see it at E3 this year. I want to see more of the game, I want to see the gameplay, I want to see how it plays. And I want to actually get an understanding for it beyond just a rubbish CGI trailer and some information that's come out in a press release. It's all well and good just hearing all these things about the game and making your opinion on it from there. But maybe when the game is released that won't be such a bad thing. Maybe what we'll end up with will be a really good Star Wars Battlefront game, and yes, it may have a couple of bits missing, but it has the potential to be good. And I'm not willing to make my final judgment on it before I've seen more of the game, or even possibly played it myself. So Star Wars Battlefront makes it to this list just because I'm so damn curious about it and I love the Star Wars Battlefront series, and unlike most of the internet, I haven't written it off quite yet, and neither should you. At number 3, we have Just Cause 3. This was a no-brainer to go on this list. It was just a question of whereabouts on the list it would go. I know I wanted to put it higher than Dishonored and Star Wars, but I wasn't sure whether to give it 2nd or 3rd place. Which I will explain when I get to 2nd, I guess. Now, pretty much everyone loved Just Cause 2. If you didn't, you were one of the minority. And Just Cause 3 just looks like it's gonna take everything that Just Cause 2 did really well and multiply it by 1,000. This game looks brilliant, it has a massive open world, and this time there seems to be far more to do in it. There's a new destruction system making the world around you feel like it's actually crumbling as you blow it to pieces. And my god, have you seen the trailers? They are incredible. At one point in the trailer, you literally see Rico fly a jet into a building and parachute out last minute. And the greatest thing about the Just Cause series is that is the exact kind of thing that you can do in the game. And yes, we have seen quite a lot of Just Cause 3 so far, but I want to see more. It just looks so much fun and I can't wait to play it. So if there's any coverage of it at all at E3, I'm really excited to see it. Okay, so we've made it to number 2 on our list, and this is another game brought to us by Avalanche Studios. It is, of course, Mad Max. Now this game really interests me. Now a lot of people wrote this game off really quickly because they thought it was a movie tie-in game, which it isn't. This game was in development before the movie even started filming, which means despite being released around the same time as the movie, the game will definitely not be held back by the usual movie tie-in tropes. But why is it that this game interests me so much? Well, the survival genre is something that's kind of grown really massively in the past few years, starting with Minecraft, I guess. There are so many games now, and they're all kind of pretty much why they are all in early access. I can't wait to actually have a survival game that's AAA. A AAA made survival game that works and has a really nice premise behind it, and that's what the Mad Max world gives it. And one of the really interesting things I heard about this game, it was actually a tweet from NerdCubed, and what it was talking about is essentially Mad Max and Just Cause 3 seem like they might have come from the same game. Now hear me out. Imagine that Avalanche made one massive, perfect open world game with absolutely everything you could ever want in it. Now imagine that they took a big old knife and chopped out all the fun, all the craziness, and threw it over in one corner and called it Just Cause 3. And all that was left was the bleak, depressing, gritty survival which will become Mad Max. I just thought that was a really interesting way to look at it. And Avalanche have a really good track record with open world games, so I am definitely hugely excited to see more of Mad Max at E3 this year. Okay, so now it's time for my most anticipated game of E3 2015. And it's a game that I've been waiting for 7 years. It's Fallout 4. Now at the time of this video's release, Fallout 4 has not been officially confirmed for E3 this year. But there have been leaks and whispers gradually making their way around the internet. One of the biggest clues to this game making an appearance at E3 this year is the inclusion of Bethesda having their own conference for the first time ever. Aside from possible news on Doom and of course Dishonored 2, we haven't heard any news from Bethesda that really warrants them hosting their own event. They would need something big to make it worth their time and their money, aka Fallout 4. Now, I'm a huge fan of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas to a lesser extent, but I also love that game. So the idea of a new installment gets me really excited. The Fallout universe is definitely one of the richest and most interesting out there, and anyone that plays the game will probably agree with that. Especially in Fallout 3, I found it really interesting to find out what was going on in different parts of the world, whereas the main game is very limited to the Washington DC area. You did get glimpses from, say, dialogue options, radio broadcasts, and even little notes on the floor of what was going on in different parts of the world. This was then further enforced in expansion content for Fallout 3, where you actually got to visit different cities in America, like Pittsburgh for example. And it was really interesting to see how these different locations had adapted to the nuclear fallout. So that's definitely one of the things I'm most excited for about Fallout 4, is to get to go to a different location, new characters, new storylines, and just a world that will feel different from Fallout 3. Just as the DLC felt different from Fallout 3, in that they literally just took part in a different part of America. Now we have no confirmation that this is actually going to be showing up at E3, but since Bethesda do have their conference this year, I'm really hoping that it does. So fingers crossed, because the Fallout series is definitely one of my favourites of all time. So there we have it guys, they were my top 5 most anticipated games of E3 2015. I hope the video didn't get a bit rambly, I was pretty much improvising all of it. But I do hope that you found it interesting nevertheless. As I said before, if you do want to tell me what your most anticipated games of E3 are, leave a comment in the comment section below, and apart from that, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been TheRoyalGorilla, over and out.
His name is Luke and he's more than your average gamer. No ordinary let's player. Know about Easter eggs much better. Da 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 da. His name is Luke, aka TheRoyalGorilla. Even bigger than the giant Godzilla. Follow him in every game he goes. Da 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 da. He's almost got everything you need, from GTA 5 to Assassin's Creed. And now